So I grew up in the small town of Natick, Massachusetts, which is a little bit outside of Boston and only about an hour from PC. I've always lived in this town and I've always lived in the same house growing up. It's what I call home, it's my foundation. Um, this is my family. We are very close. We spend a lot of our time together and are very supportive of one another. And now that my sister and I both go to college, we all make an effort to stay in touch pretty often. Um, my parents are incredibly supportive of me and they encourage me to do my best and they want the best for me. They also are have no problem, telling me if I have done something wrong or if I need to, improve something that I'm doing and will work with me to make things better. And this is definitely an aspect of that I translate into my identity and that I hope to use as a teacher. I think it's important to encourage your students to do the best that they can and want the best for your students, but also be there to help them when things aren't going the best that they can go and show them how to turn it around. My siblings here are my two best friends. My sister is 3 years younger than me, and my brother is 6 years younger than me. We fight just like all other siblings do, but we get along really well, and we have all had to learn from a young age how to share with one another and cooperate and make compromises. And I think that this is another aspect of my identity that, again, I try to incorporate into all aspects of my life, especially with teaching. My grandmother here is, I call her my Nani. My oldest cousin couldn't pronounce Nonna, which is grandmother in Italian, so Nani is what we refer to her as. Um, my Italian culture is really important to me. It's incorporated heavily into our family get-togethers and the different foods that we eat, and it's an incredibly important aspect of my life that I like, that I'm really proud of, and that I like to incorporate into other areas of my life. In addition to my family, sports was always a huge piece of my identity growing up. I played all different sports, soccer, basketball, lacrosse, year round, and it was absolutely how I defined myself. If someone asked me what I was, I'd say an athlete. Up until high school, that's who I was. That was my identity. And then I tore my ACL. And it was absolutely a time in my life where I was feeling confused and a little lost because I needed to find something else to do with my time since I could no longer play sports. And it was really difficult for me to make that transition out of what I thought I was as an athlete into something new. I do, however, think that it opened my eyes to the fact that you don't need to be married to one part of your life forever, that you are allowed to make changes to benefit yourself, and that's absolutely okay to do. I started volunteering with kids and adults with special needs during the summer and on the weekends during the school year, playing games with them, but also doing educational activities with them, and also just teaching them some daily life skills that before I had ever worked with these kids, I completely took for granted as what I thought were really simple tasks, like going to a pizza place, ordering pizza, paying with the right amount of money, waiting for your food, finding an open seat, etc., etc. Working with these kids and adults was incredibly eye-opening for me. It made me much more appreciative for the life that I had grown up with, and um, made me realize just how fortunate I am, and everyone in my family is. It also created a new passion within me and definitely a huge new piece of my identity that is still true today. I graduated high school and went off to PC and was very happy to do so. I had the opportunity junior year to go abroad to Italy, which was an amazing experience to explore my heritage and my ancestors' land, in the flesh, and really learn some new customs and traditions that are important to many Italian people today. And, how can I incorporate that in my life back in America. While in Italy, we worked with kids over there in the schools, and it absolutely opened my eyes to the cultural differences and how that can affect both learning and teaching. This picture is the students that I worked with, their Christmas concert at the end of the semester, where they sang many carols in Italian that I had always associated as American Christmas carols because I had only ever heard them in America sang in English. However, I could still sing along to the songs in my own language with them, and it was really cool to see the intertwining of different cultures, even with a language barrier. We were able to, do something together, even though we didn't speak the same language. And it absolutely has translated into the way that I teach today and how I hope to teach in the future. I think that my identity is heavily influenced by my family and my past experiences, but I also think that a lot of these experiences, like working with these students from a different culture and whatnot, have opened my eye to the fact that it's okay to change your identity and to feel like you're still developing your identity, and not feel, ashamed of that. But I really hope to take these aspects of my personal history and incorporate them into my life as a student and a teacher, and a friend and a family member. And, I hope that I'm better able to benefit my students in the future, and incorporate all aspects of their backgrounds into my classroom.